Regarded as the economic corridor of Mpumalanga, the Ehlanzeni District Municipality has maintained a clean audit outcome for 5 consecutive years. Now, the municipality comprises of 4 local municipalities: Bushbuckridge, City of Mbombela, Nkomazi and Thaba Chweu. Ehlanzeni's economy is driven mostly by tourism, cross-border trade and agriculture, contributing to over 36% of the province's economy. Although there has been much progress, crime, illegal mining, unemployment and municipal debt continue to be challenges. Well, it's an absolute pleasure this morning to welcome here in our segment that is called Your Choice, Your Voice. We have the Executive Mayor of the Ehlazeni District Municipality, Enoch Shabangu, in studio with us. Mayor, thank you. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thanks very much, Liam, for having us, and also to our viewers at home.
A pleasure. And I know you drove in last night, so you managed to watch. Your team won, so I'm catching you on a good day today.
In a good mood.
In a good mood. Good. I don't want to ruin your mood. I hope we keep it in a good mood. But Mayor, let's have a look at the municipality. Obviously, it's our question of the day, and people are writing into us. And please feel free to continue to send. In fact, if you've got questions you want to ask the Mayor directly, or you live in the area and you have an issue and you want to raise it, this is your opportunity to do so. So, Mayor, you've been in office since 2021. Your term coming to an end, obviously, with the 4th of November local government elections. How do you think you've performed from your perspective?
Okay, let me start by correcting one thing, Lynn. You'll remember after the national and provincial election, there was a lady, Umamu Chester Seidel, as an executive mayor, and then she was deployed at the legislature, and then I took after her.
Yes.
So which means I've got 2 years to finish the term.
Okay,
in
so
the
you're
office.
still carrying on.
Yes.
Correct, thank you. Okay. So how do you feel you've done?
Liana must indicate that we have done a lot of things around your water issues. We've got catalytic projects within the district where we are working with the Department of Water Affairs. We've got these 2 catalytic projects, as we have indicated that we've got 4 local municipalities. But currently we were looking at around your Nkomazi local municipality. We've got a Sibange bulk water scheme, which it's completed. We have given, it's operational as we are talking. It supply 8 villages around your eastern part of Nkomazi. And we also have a Trikopis bulk water scheme, which is going to be servicing almost 14 villages around your Matamo Tribal Authority, those areas. Because you know our district is mostly rural. So we are currently to finish phase 1, which is going to be assisting a lot to our communities. And the other issues that we have done around your Bushbuckridge local municipalities, because we have identified areas where they do not have water. So we have drilled boreholes in those areas. Also in your area like your Thaba Chweu. So, and also in Nkomazi, whereby we have areas that suffered a lot. You'll remember that we are closer to the border post, which is Swaziland and Maputo, and we've got a lot of land invasions, whereby people, they will get in there without municipality having planned for them. So when they need this amenities, so we come in as a district to assist them in terms of drilling these boreholes. And also what we have done, because our priority is to our communities to have safer communities. We have also installed some high mast lights in some other areas where by our people, they did not have safety in those areas. But remember, Leon, what we're doing, we have moved to the normal drilling of our boreholes. We now use the solar systems, yes.
Okay.
But the critical challenge that we are also having on the issues of water is these illegal connections, which is a serious problem.
Let's dig a bit deeper into that, because starting off with water is probably the biggest concern when we come to your municipality. I mean, you get residents, communities. I mean, we'll just give one example, Bushbuckridge. They continue to experience times where they've got absolutely zero water, and this continues all the time, and they rely on water tankers and try and get water wherever they can. And this has been going on for years, despite lots of promises and many of the things that you've been talking about. When is this going to come through for them? Because I'm sure the communities are getting tired of this now.
No, Leanne, you know, we must be honest and speak the truth. You see, you've got a Oshane bulk water scheme, which that scheme is finished, and there are a lot of people who are going to be benefiting on it. But if I can give you an example, closer to that scheme, there's a new informal settlement. And these people have built beautiful houses. And these people now, they are doing illegal connections. So this is a challenge. I met with the municipality of Bushbuckridge. We called an Indaba within that particular area. They indicated that is within their areas. The study is saying to us there is water around their areas. But the problem now, it is this water reticulation from our systems. When we do that, our people, they do illegal connections into our pipes. But we then said to the municipality, they must start now to enforce the bylaws, because in most cases, we have these water mafia schemes, and they tape the very same water that the municipality is cleaning it and also using the chemicals that the municipality is paying for it. With them, they do not pay. They just take these waters and go and sell it to our communities.
Yeah.
And remember, as government, we are saying, people, they must not be buying water. They must receive that.
Where's the root of this? Because obviously, I mean, this is highly illegal. This should never be happening. But do you know who's responsible for doing this?
You see, our communities, they are starting now to be responsible. They are indicating to say these mafias, because they charge them a lot of money for the truck, you see, of which they cannot afford. You know, our people, our communities, most of them, they do not work. So if these mafias, they are selling this water, it becomes a burden to them. So we are starting now to have a team around the municipalities that they should look at this problem. What we've done also, we've set cameras within our areas where there are these machines, so that we are able to make follow-ups. We're working closer also with the Department of Safety and Security, so that we cramp all these things.
Or any arrests? Have we got any arrests knowing this is happening?
Of now, Leanne, I must be honest, we did not have any arrest. But the minimum part of it, we are seeing these changes. Because what we are doing now, we are encouraging our municipalities to buy their own water tanks, so that they supply these waters to our communities. But you remember, it's a struggle, because these mafias, it's a network.
It's a network that sometimes goes up to the municipal level. And I mean, if you look, and a lot of people are saying this, they would love to see something like the Madlanga Commission going in and investigating corruption within the municipalities and the policing structures in there. And this sounds like a prime example of you needing assistance when it comes to all of the illegalities that are taking place, and because it's abusing communities, making them buy the water, and these mafias, these water mafias as you call them, are actually doing this to your community, and it's happening. That's the hard part.
No, it's true, Leanne. Remember, as we said, as a municipality, we are priding ourselves to say we've got clean audit, but the clean audit should also translate to the service that we are delivering to our people. As a district, we say we want to give impactful service delivery. But how do you then say you are proud you've got a clean audit in one of your municipalities? They do not have the services that is essential, such as water. It's very painful. We've got systems now that we are trying to put them in place, so that we crack this mafia style, so that our people receive what is due to them.
Let's have a look at some of the comments that have come through from some of your residents in the area. So we'll put them up, read them. This is Ngizwe. Praying for our leaders is good, but we must also do our part. Let's support good governance. Mfwetu, that's one coming through. Letswapo saying, it's not doing well if people of Ehlanzeni are still complaining about non-delivery of services. We want clean and functioning municipalities in all of South Africa's municipalities. Ngizwe, Yebo, may the mayor bring real change. Mzansi needs leaders who put people first. So let's hold him accountable too. And Nkubeni saying, every mayor is impressive in the beginning until they show their true colors. Okay, this one, Lulemile saying, morning live family, and a happy Babalas Day to all. This municipality is the economic hub of Mpumalanga's province and also the tourist attractions, and so the mayor must exercise the utmost care in the administration thereof. And that is very true, Lulemile. Thank you. Elias, morning SK and Alem, show me a municipality in South Africa that is perfect and I will leave the country. Elias, maybe if you find a perfect municipality, rather move there than leave the country. But, you know, anyway, that's just how I see it. But Mayor, very, comments that are coming through. I mean, they're very diverse. But I think one of the big things, obviously, service delivery is one of the biggest issues. And it's something that we need to really, really focus on. Yes, you get clean audits, and that's an amazing accolade, but it doesn't mean service delivery. Residents complain about potholes, refuse, sanitation, burst pipes, and they're often told, and this is an important point, that's not the district municipality, that's the local municipality. So help us here. Do residents actually care whose responsibility it is, or shouldn't they just do the job?
Yes, it's true. And let me say on what the other listener has written on the board, that is good governance. You see, with the district, we started with all the Section 56. We filled up all those posts. And I'm telling you, Leon, if you could come and visit my municipalities, highly qualified officials, they are doing their work. You'll remember, it was on the papers about the issue of spillage around your Thaba Chweu, were even taken to court. Because as a district, our role is to support our local municipalities. I have sent the technical team from Ehlanzeni District Municipality, go back now to Thaba Chweu. There is no spillage of that water, which was affecting the communities. Yeah. So if you've got dedicated officials and people who are well skilled to do the work, that is very much important, because they are going to solve problems that are there. Around Umjindi, you'll remember, there was also the issue of spillage. What we discovered there, the pipes. Instead of putting quality pipes, there were small pipes that were placed. And these pipes, when you push, they will burst and cause problems. So those are the issues. What is very much important also is that when there is a project that is being given on the ground, you must always have your project people who are going to monitor it. You see, as an executive mayor, I always require my technical service to say, bring me reports of what is happening. Because as an executive mayor, you are required, but you must give quarterly reports. You must account as an executive. Yeah, yeah. You've got your MPEC committee. Your MPEC committee should be working, looking at all holding the executive accountable. And also what is important, Leon, have your systems in place, your internal risk, your audit committees, and also your independent body, that we are not going to influence it. So that when there is a project or any maladministration, they must be hands-on on that. Because that report that comes from the oversight, you will not have an access to it up until you present it to council. And when you present to council, when there are ills that are going to impact, should then take it to a disciplinary board. And the disciplinary board, as an independent body, it must come up clear to whether there is an maladministration in that case. Yeah. And another thing that we should be careful, executive mayors, you see, when officials are dealing with these things, you must have your dashboard as an executive mayor to say, stop deviations. Because you've got an IDP, you've got an SDP, which is your service delivery implementation plan, which is your dashboard. We must indicate to you, so this project, we said, it must start in January, it must end up in September. Yeah. And then what is happening in between? Your dashboard must tell you. And if you don't have those mechanisms, you are really going to have a serious problem.
And in a day like this, in a day and age where everything is run so smoothly when it comes to technology, and you're able to do those things with such ease, this should be something that's working in the municipalities. But let's quickly move on from some of those issues, and I want to talk about the flooding that happened earlier this year, and that was very devastating. And I mean, in your area and under you, many were hit dramatically. And of course, this was eventually declared a serious, I think it was a state of disaster that happened there. I mean, homes, roads, bridges, essential infrastructure, many of this was washed away. I mean, over 1,800 houses were affected. So where are we at now? Because, I mean, even kids weren't going to schools, hospitals were damaged. How far have you gotten in terms of rebuilding? And talk to us about this situation where I suppose one has to look at it in another light as well, and saying, as much as it was devastated by the floods, the weak and ailing infrastructure wasn't going to hold up for much longer anyway.
You're correct, Leon. Let me tell you something. In the District of Court, the unity that we called the GIS, because there was now a clear directive from the President of the country, that is, we must build a resilient infrastructure.
Correct.
And what we have done, fortunately, Leon, I'm telling you something, when I started in that municipality, I started as an official for disaster management unity. And out of that, if you have your GIS, it will tell you in all your municipalities that are prone in disasters. What is happening now? You must ask yourself, each and every year you will have these disasters. So we must come out, we must have a planning session, because issues that you'll find out, roofing, it's a problem. So we must come up with mechanism. Is the roofing that you are dealing with it now correct? If that is another method that we should use, we must change and come up with a resilience system that is going to assist us. The issue that you are saying, people that are staying in flooded areas, we've got on this on the GIS, because that one, it tells you that the people that are in that particular position, they are going to be affected. But the problem that we are having with our communities, when you go to them and start this awareness campaign, they said there is this Zulu name that they are using, Sihlala ngenkani. You are not going to tell us. But when there is a problem, now the municipality must come to this place.
So you warn them to say, look, don't live here, move away. This is a dangerous area. And they refuse to move.
We've got our officials, Leanne. We go to those communities. You see, our communities, they must start now to understand, because a study has been commissioned. And that study, it won't give you lies. It will tell you the truth, that in each and every, I'll give an example in what municipalities, that is Nkomazi. In all those villages, in every year, those areas are being affected. But go to that particular space and look. You ask yourself, where the president visited the area called Mchechane. We went in there, I was there even on a weekend, on a Mandela Day. Just closer to a river spot, their houses. And you'll imagine there are these illegal connection wires. What is going to happen if these wires, they will touch these waters and kids are playing on that street?
Yeah,
it's a problem, and it's a disaster.
It's also a sign of desperation, because, I mean, you can link it all up. People are living next to a water source because they don't necessarily have reliable water that's coming through from the municipality and not providing the essential resources. So people go back to basics. There's a water source, they'll build houses, they'll still live there, and they'll take their chances. And this is what happens, I think, in communities that are just trying to get some normality and find a place to live.
Leanne, let me tell you something. We are doing all of our best as municipalities to do awareness to our communities. I'm giving you an example. We are sitting on a time bomb. One day, you'll say, the executive mayor of the district say this thing. They've got an area around Nkomazi local municipality. It's called Impala. It's a new settlement. And that settlement, if you can go there, people have built beautiful houses. But they are closer to a gas pipe. What is going to happen? That gas pipe that comes from Maputo to your Secunda and whatever. And a lifespan of that pipe, it's almost now 20 to 25 years. And it needs to be maintained. And these people are close to it. When you go to those people, municipality has made awareness campaign. I've got records on that, because we wanted to remove them. But how do you remove them? They've built beautiful houses. And you know, the problem that we also are having, all our municipalities, they are within the traditional leaders.
Yes.
So, your traditional leaders, Some of, not all of them around Mpumalanga, we've got a healthy relationship with our traditional. The only problem there is in Dunas. They are selling these sites without even the municipality knowing that these people are there. But you'll realize when now people are on the street, they say they want water, they want streets, they want lights, they want all these things, Leon. Let me give an example, Leon, a disaster that is made if ever your spatial development is not correct. Once there is a settlement, you must remember, they must have a school, they must have a clinic, they must have cemetery, something that they don't want to hear. But at the end of the day, it's a reality. But if those things are not well arranged, you'll have a serious problem with our communities.
And it sounds like a lot of it. Well, let's talk about illegal migration, because you are right there on the border with Mozambique and Lesotho. So you've got two countries that are bordering you, and this is a big challenge as well, because when you talk about these communities, are they full of illegal immigrants? Do you find that this is putting more and more pressure on communities, on services? Because that's the word out there. What is it like on the ground for you?
It's truly, but what we are doing, I will tell you, because I'm a former professional teacher, especially these people who comes in illegally, because Swaziland and Maputo, when these kids now, they will get into a school doing all this grade, but in grade 12, they're not going to write the exam because they do not have these papers. But what we are trying now with our sister countries, we are trying to have this engagement with them, because people, they must have legal document when come to the country. They must have a legal document so that they should access whatever services that we are doing. Because once a person is inside the country, the law, it says you have to give services to that particular person. But we are trying our level best. We have this now called a tricameral meetings with your Swaziland and Maputo to look at this matter. But I know the competence part of it is with DECO. DECO, they are dealing with that, but we are affected as a district because our municipalities, they are closer to those areas. But we are trying our level best to manage all those issues.
It's huge. I mean, I can talk to an incident that happened recently with crime, one of your tourists being killed. And that was a major story, not only locally, but internationally as well. And this is a very big problem that, you know, you are I mean, when we talk about it, there's the Kruger National Park that comes up as possibly one of the best tourist destinations in the country and in South Africa, if not on the continent. But the reality is that when you hear of people being killed there, this must absolutely not be a good thing. But that's a tourist, international tourist. But the crime levels generally within the municipality. Talk to us about that, because that is also a major problem and an issue that you deal with. Even illegal mining, that's another problem, because you've got many, again, people coming in from, and my mistake, I'm busy saying Lesotho, I don't know where my mind is at the moment. I'm busy sleeping still. I need to get some sleep when we're talking Mozambique and Eswatini. So, I mean, illegal mining is a very big problem you deal with.
Let me start with one of the municipality where we have also raised this matter, and the Premier is taking it seriously, around your Thaba Chweu, the issues of Zamazamas. We are happy now that there is that collaboration with the SANDF. They are assisting in it. You look at that local municipality, they are beautiful places like your 3 rondavels. We are currently dealing with a lot of spin-off that could assist the communities. We are working closer with this private sector, your KLPCT, and it is really a nightmare, and it's always a serious issue. The tourist that was killed, especially in the Kruger National Park, that person was discovered, and you see that it was from Maputo. And along the line of Hazelview, we've tried to put some cameras, because when you kill one tourist, you have destroyed job opportunities. And that is making a serious challenge to ourselves. I'll make an example now of a recent incident that is taking place. It is a route to Kruger National Park, as you said, Mkutlu. And this it has sparked internationally, and tourists, they will not go to make use of that route because they will fear for their lives. And also it's a problem to us because if this, you'll see on your states, it has declined a part of our visits of the tourists. So we're trying at our level best with SABS and also with the private security companies, because you remember we've got now the district development model, which we have, it's a one plan where you assemble all role players to be around the table and look at all these challenges that are affecting us. Really the issue of tourists around the killings that are taking place, it's a nightmare. We're trying with all the sector departments and all stakeholders that we should cap this killing, because as we have indicated when we start our show, our anchor is tourists.
Yeah, indeed it is. And
tourism.
This doesn't do any good. I want to talk about border control and border management, because this seems to be one of the biggest problems, because again, people are coming in freely. What does border management look like? What does border control look like? Or do people just walk through the park, which is what we hear on a daily basis? I would love to put a number to the amount of people that are walking between South Africa, Mozambique, Eswatini freely with no problems whatsoever.
Len, I will tell you, I've seen an improvement now in our border post, especially the Libombo. We are meeting, as I said, we've got the district development model with the Dr. Umasia Pato. We are always having meetings. We've seen the improvements that they've done within the border post, but I must indicate that it's a serious challenge. It's a problem that is not going to be solved within a short space of time, but there are strides that have been done. I've been there. I've seen their room operational centers. They've got all this improvement and the equipment that they are using now to detect when there are these engagements that are taking place between the border officers and also the people who are crossing the border. But it is a challenge because, as I've said, we've got I'll give you an example. We've got these traditional leaders around your Mbuzini area. They've got relatives, blood relatives across the border. You've got the traditional leadership around your Mawewe. They are also having family members staying across the border. They are using this, what we call izicango in Siswati. Yeah, whereby they are always moving in and out. But I've seen this improvement. And also we are encouraging our people that they must get legal documents so that they are able to access to come into a country. Because we also want to go to Mozambique.
Yeah, indeed.
But if you do not have legal documents, it becomes a problem.
You know, when you look at your Ehlazeni, and you've spoken to it, unemployment is one of your biggest challenges. I mean, it sounds like you have a lot of challenges, but the fact that people aren't working is a major challenge. And you look at this, and we call it in Mpumalanga's economic corridor. And that is a reputation you have, and yet we're talking about high unemployment rate standing at over, please you tell me if I've got the correct figures in front of me, 36%, youth unemployment more than 50%. How are you trying to create jobs?
Thank you very much, Dan. You know what we are doing? We are trying our level best to meet with various stakeholders. We had a Chinese exchange program whereby we took all our SMMEs. They went to China to exchange for a period of 6 months. Especially these were youths who were taken there and they've come back. They are doing whatever they are doing in their businesses. That's one part that we are doing as a municipalities. And last 2 months back, there is a team of young entrepreneurs. They're dealing with issues of waste. As a municipality, we've given them 14 tricycles. They are all coming from various municipalities within our area. And we are working closer with the Department of Fishery, Forestry. So they are assisting us in that space. Because what we are saying, our landfill areas, we must start now to identify these products that they can recycle it so that at the end of the day, they make money. And we are encouraging our youth to come on board on that because there are some skills that we are doing with that. And part of it now, we've got the Mpumalanga International Fresh Produce, which is going to be operational soon. And we have partnered with the University of Mpumalanga so that they should be able to skill them in terms of logistic and transport. And that fresh produce is going to be assisting us within our areas. I've met also with the private sector, halls, H&H, around your city of Mbombela. They are prepared to assist them on the issues of agriculture. And also, we've got a big project that is coming now. It's up and running now, our special economic zone. And this special economic zone, Leanne, if it's going to be completed, I'm telling you, it's going to create lots and lots of jobs within that area.
The investment opportunities,
investment opportunity. And I must indicate, Leanne, that is now, when you go down to, starting from your Ligazi to straight to border post, Central is working and assisting us in expanding that corridor so that there should be that flow, because that is also one of the critical issues when we come to
Mayor, your ideas are great, your visions are good, and that's something we do so hope filters down to the communities, and that they will be able to get the jobs and reap these benefits. You know, we keep on saying here, clean audits don't necessarily equal service delivery.
Correct, yes.
The roads, there's a lot of fatalities on your roads. These need to be fixed very, very urgently, and I'm sure they were damaged even more by the flooding this year. So you've got a big, big problem there. But one of the other issues, and we've got to wrap this up, is gender-based violence. You have one of the highest rape GBV. 3.5% of the national rape cases are in your district. Talk to me as a closing mark. What are you doing about this? How do you protect your communities?
Fortunately, you are talking to someone who is chairing that committee at the level of a district, because when we've got a committee where we meet with all our local municipalities. The also issue that is a serious challenge, the issue of drugs within our communities. We must talk about that. You see, it's very embarrassing. I had a case last month whereby a boy of about 22 years raping an old lady of about 62 years. So it's a very, very serious challenge. But within our rural areas, we are working closer with our traditional leaders. We are having this what we call IMI Memo. IMI Memo is whereby our traditional leaders are talking to our communities about the issues of Ubuntu. So that people, they must go back to Ubuntu. And also our structures, we are talking to young boys. We've got meetings whereby we have a young boys meeting where we teach them and we will make this awareness. But above all, we are pleased that we've got pastors that are also joining part in it. And also, we are working with the Office of the Speaker on moral regeneration to come up with this program and participate into our community so that we talk about these ill societies within our community.
I have to leave it there. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you for talking to us about a range of issues. And this, of course, was the Executive Mayor of Ehlazeni District Municipality, Enoch Shabangu. And this is the state of his municipality, as you've just heard. Thank you again. Drive safely back. Thank you very, very much, Mayor.